Aloha class, I wanted to give you kind of a preview of the chapter and to help you out with homework. And so in the textbook it talks about this example with Service Master issues $100,000 in bonds due in 5 years with 9% interest payable annually at year end. At the time of issue, the market rate for such bonds is 11%. And there should be some more, oh no, it doesn't tell you that. But essentially they want you to find how much the bond will issue at. So we need to, so how much will the bond issue at? It is issued at 9%, but the market rate is 11%. When we look at those two rates together, yes, the customer that's giving the money for the bond will get the 9% interest rates annually, but how do they get it to return higher than just the 9% annually? This would mean that the company that's issuing the bonds, the Service Master, is issuing them at a discount, and so they're really not going to get $100,000, and the customer will benefit from that. This discount, they'll pay less than $100,000 for a $100,000 bond. And so good for the customer, not good for the bond issuer. In our scenario, we're always the bond issuer. These are annual, and so we don't have to worry about semi-annual periods. And so the coupon rate or the issue rate, very interchangeably used, was 9%, and then the effective or the market rate was 11%. So if the customer's not only getting the interest but a higher rate, that means that the bonds are issued at a discount. Sorry, you can't see that here. Let's bring it back in. Bonds are issued at a discount. If the coupon and the market were exactly the same, the bonds would be issued at par or face value. So, they'd be issued at $100,000, and that's what it'd be issued at, and the market would get their $100,000 with their 9% interest. Yeah, so it'd be 1 for 1. Nothing special in those journal entries, really. And then if the coupon is 9% and the effective is 7%, the bonds are issued at a premium, which is good for us as the company because the customer will actually pay more than the $100,000 to get the bonds. So maybe these bonds are in high demand and they will take a cut in their return. This effective would be your actual return. So because they paid more than the $100,000, they're not getting a full 9% return. Hopefully that was helpful. So in order to figure out how much these are going to issue for, I know already that it's going to be less than $100,000 because we said this was going to be at a discount. So my way of remembering is the coupon times the face times by semi-annual if it's applicable. The semi-annual is not applicable. So our interest payable or our cash that we're going to pay out every year to our bond holders or the people that buy the bonds from us would be our 100,000 times it by 9%. So our annuity or our interest payments, we use the coupon rate. We told them we're going to pay them 9%. That would be 9,000 every year for the next 5 years, right? And then in 5 years' time, they give us the 100,000 today, or not quite 100,000, but we will pay them 100,000 in 5 years. So in 5 years, we will pay them 100,000. We will use a PV factor, right? PV factor for 5 years. 5 years would be the time period, and then the interest rate. Should I use the effective or the coupon rate? We will always use the effective interest rate when finding PV factors, right? So I think I hid this. Let me unhide it. Okay, yep, so we always want to use the effective, the 11%, right? We only use this 9% when we're calculating the annuity or the payments, and then this would be 5 years, so let's hide this. So we do need to find the factor. This is a one-time payment while this is an annuity. So you would go to your PV tables. They're referred to in the textbook, but I don't know if they're actually there in the textbook. So I will give you these PV tables. So the PV of $1, so this one-time payment at 11%, maybe can make it a little bit bigger, 11%, and what was the number of years? 11% for 5 years, because this is annual, 11% for 5 years. 0.59345. Let's see if we got the correct factor there. 0.59345. Yep, so we did get that one-time payment there. And now for the annuity, we need to look at the annuity PV chart at 11% for 5 years. So we'll pull up the annuity, and it says annuity here at 11% for 5 years would be 3.69590. 3.69590. So and then we can times our PV factor, hide this, right? So we did find our one payment, and this is our annuity, 5 years, 11%, times our principal, times by the PV factor. So we are going to pay that out in 5 years. We'll discount that back to today, and that'll be worth $59,000. And then our annuity for over 5 years, we'll use an annuity factor, and usually the annuity factor is larger than 1, usually, and that's what would be the PV of the interest payments over time. And so finally, this bond will issue at $92,608.10. So we knew it was going to be less than $100,000, but this bond will issue at this amount. And this problem was shown in your textbook, but just a review of how your textbook got to this point. And I'll talk more in the next video about this sort of problem.